Back in the late 80s, after Westinghouse sold off all the repair divisions, they had a network of motor shops throughout the U.S. From an aftermarket standpoint, they needed the ability to service their equipment from an aftermarket standpoint with repair, renewal parts, field service, and that type of thing. The engineering and tech support that their products needed to actually take care of the customers that were using the products.
That's why we decided to develop the Service Business Unit. We know the motor from the top down, so if you are having a specific problem, we can help you with certain parts.
We're not just reverse engineering a motor back to the original condition. We're actually taking that motor and making improvements, whether it's design, construction, or materials. We're looking at the whole motor. A lot of the customers that we have use very large synchronous machines. Not only our brand of machine or TECO-Westinghouse machine or an old legacy Westinghouse machine, but also other manufacturers. And what we've seen in the marketplace is that the other manufacturers aren't supporting the certain components on a synchronous machine. And so what we can do is actually retrofit our control wheels and actually give the customer a component that we support here domestically in country.
Which gives them more reliability. Now they don't have to buy a whole new motor for the one part of the machine. Imagine having to buy a whole new car when all you have to replace is the ignition or something like that, something small for a fairly large investment.
The other thing that's kind of exciting as far as synchronous machines is that we actually take the old analog exciter control panels and are able to upgrade and retrofit those with the new digital control system.
Old-fashioned way to do it was they had the analog exciter control. They'd have to go out and monitor that every day and make a run and walk to at each machine that had each synchronous machine that needed adjustment, and they'd just verify that the field excitation was in line with what the motor needed. The digital excitation is kind of on the fly. It is continuously monitoring that system and making the adjustments as necessary, as opposed to just turning the dial manually every day. It's reporting out and telling them exactly what their motor's doing.
A lot of our customers have turnarounds and outages that they have a short window of time to pull a motor, get it refurbished, and installed. And so we basically have taken our repair processes and procedures and we streamline that so that all our departments within TECO-Westinghouse are working together as one, so that we streamline that delivery down to a window of, on an average of 15 to 27 days, depending on what type of and what size motor that is. Our customers spend a lot of money building new motors, and so when it comes to the installation, to get 100% of that reliability and quality that's built into that motor, you need to make sure that it's installed properly.
Having our guys on site really saves the end user money on the front end, and gives them confidence in the machine over the life, knowing that it was installed properly. Because with our guys standing there, we're motor guys. We know our equipment. We know what can and does work and what doesn't work. So with those guys standing there, you know that it's going to be installed correctly. So most of the repair shops bring a motor in and can do service on it based on what they see. We have all of the original design records for the vast line of Westinghouse motors dating back to the early 1900s. So we can look at the motor, check design changes before we even receive a machine in-house. The size of the units we work on are often much larger than what the standard repair shop will be able to service. The largest motor we've made here was about 83,000 horsepower. So that's way above what you normally see in a standard ESA shop.
Our motor load testing capabilities here are pretty much second to none. I mean, that's pretty much independently verified by one of our largest customers. They had a 12,000 horsepower motor that they wanted load tested and they tried to find somebody else to do it, and there was nobody else in North America that had the capability that we have here in Round Rock, Texas, to test that motor. It's really the people that make the difference. And you've got a lot of competitors out there from other service shops that work on motors that may have the capabilities from an equipment standpoint, but they don't have the resources here from an engineering and R&D and that type of support, and also the legacy of Westinghouse.
Well, over the past 130 years, Westinghouse Corporation has been building and innovating products worldwide. 20 years ago, TECO-Westinghouse became part of that family, and we've been building and innovating products, and now even more innovation coming out of this facility in Round Rock, Texas.